30 seconds left. Oh, that's not going to be a good lift at all. They're going to go ahead and give him a bad lift on that. So if you saw there, his right elbow rebent, so that's considered a no lift, all right? So he's going to come back for that attempt. He has 2 minutes to go ahead, gather himself, and get back at it. So one thing everyone talks about here, the most weight lifted today is not the lifters or not the power lifters or the lifters. The most weight lifted today are the loaders that are putting the weights on the barbells. For the weightlifting side, powerlifting. $61 kilos on the bar, third attempt for Mike. That's going to be a good lift for Mike on his third attempt. He's credited with 61 kilograms. Have that barbell off the ground before the 0-0-0 hits. Again, guys, going ahead and talking about these guys will be lifting in this weightlifting competition in the morning, refueling, coming back for the afternoon for powerlifting. All right, for all my weightlifters out there, if you're not into powerlifting, you will be seeing them doing a squat, bench, and a deadlift. All right, Mike up 45 seconds, third attempt at 65 kilos. That is a good lift from Mike at 65 kilos. All right, bar is loaded for Mike's first attempt at 90 kilos. Oh, easy power clean. All right, so in the jerk. Oh, nice jerk with that easy opener for Mike. Again, so there's a couple of things we got to look for in the jerk, all right? You guys noticing as they're... Again, a lot of these powerlifters, guys, you got to think about this. This is probably like 20 to 30% of their 1 rep max deadlift, literally. Mike Efren, second attempt, 100 kilograms. Full clean. Oh, that was a beautiful jerk. Man, those are some fast hands. That lockout was fast. That was beautiful. Brian Chambers up for his second attempt at 100 kilograms. Are we on replay here? Brian is our next lifter, second attempt at 100 kilograms. Mike Effner with his third attempt, I'm sorry. Third attempt, 110 kilograms. Oh. Bar off the ground didn't look too heavy. It looked pretty heavy, but then all of a sudden he got past that knee and it was on his shoulders. That was impressive. Oh, no lift. No lift. No lift for Mike Effern.
At all in the same day is almost unheard of. I actually was able to do it maybe twice in 30 years of powerlifting, so it's pretty impressive.
Not a bad day for Mr. Hill to get 4 PRs in only 3 disciplines. So what you're saying is at least in one discipline, your second and third attempts were both PRs.
Yeah, he actually hit a PR across the board, squat, bench, deadlift, and then the fourth PR is the total because he totaled more than he's ever done in his life.
Fantastic job there for Earl Hill. Mike Effner.
That lift looked borderline on depth. Let's see what the judges say. Yeah, it was turned down. Nationals and Olympic lifting. I just think doing it in the same day, you're essentially now doing 5 attempts or 5 disciplines, and if you think of the math, you're adding an extra 6 attempts. It's a big difference from somebody doing that.
It can be quite taxing, I would imagine.
I wouldn't know because I've never tried it and I won't be trying it, but it's definitely interesting to watch.
Mike Effner, who missed at 195, making a 205-kilo attempt.
Now that's going to be close on depth. Let's see what the judges say, Brian. He got 3 white lights. He was a little narrower stance, so it was harder from the front to see his depth. I want to try and pick the perfect increment of 2.5 kilos that's the most you can hit, because obviously there has to be a number we're all able to hit that if you go 5 pounds more, you can't. But the hard part is knowing where that is, because if you go too far, you miss it. And he hit, really, in that case, probably the perfect attempt. There wasn't much more left in him.
Mike Effner will step up, and I would imagine that a lot of that can be determined in the training sessions because you constantly want to go after a little more there because you have the ability to do that. But once you get closer and closer to a meet, it's now time to put those numbers on the board and hit the numbers that are scripted for you.
And the challenge on a third attempt, as Mike's doing now, is it's a maximum weight. So you have to have everything come together. Technique, your balance. He got a little bit forward on that one.
Now, because
on his squat, and he has got 331. Opener in the bench press in the 93 kilo weight class. And the lift is good. 300 pounds, give him 804 subtotal. And Effner's lift appears to be no problem. The judges say 3 white lights. Effner already has an 800 subtotal. He is looking to add to that. This would actually give him 821. Effner's descent, controlled, a solid movement, and I believe that lift will be good. And the judges agree, 3 white lights for Effner.
Those numbers have dwindled significantly. There's not nearly as much background noise in the back room as everyone has fixated their attention on either closing their day down or spectating here against these final Superman contestants.
Yeah, I would suspect, Brian, I can't be 100% because I have some screens blocking me, but I would suspect at this point, obviously everyone in this flight has already done their warm-ups, and even the people in the next flight of deadlifts should be very close. And in the deadlift, oftentimes you'll see bigger jumps.
So Mike Effner will address the bar for his second opportunity at 235 kilos.
And this is the more traditional alternating grip, Brian. So you can see he's got one hand up, one hand down. Essentially the premise there is it keeps the bar from rolling out of your hands. And good lift.
2 out of 3 there, so he's on the board at 235.
That would change behavior quickly.
Neither option works.
Yeah, let's not recommend that.
Let's see, Mike Effner, we're making an attempt at 240 kilos. Hafner not going to be able to complete that. The one thing that I noticed as the camera got a really good up-close angle is he did not have his shoes laced up to the very top, obviously to offer himself a little ankle mobility, if you will.
Yeah, I always find that interesting because I don't know if it was superstitious. I didn't feel superstitious. I just literally always felt like I wanted my laces as tight as possible. So there'd be times in a meet I would actually relace them. I like the tight feeling. I didn't like anything loose. I didn't like that feeling of your foot moving in your shoe.